On a dark and stormy Friday, the 13th, the small town of Willowbrook awoke to an eerie silence. Unbeknownst to the townsfolk, a maniac had escaped from a nearby asylum, his mind twisted by dark impulses. As the clock struck midnight, the maniac set his sights on Willowbrook, ready to unleash his madness upon the unsuspecting town. Emma, a young woman in Willowbrook, had always been sensitive to supernatural energies. That fateful morning, she woke up with a sense of impending doom, her dreams haunted by visions of a masked maniac. Desperate to make sense of her premonition, she delved into the town's history, uncovering a long-buried secret about a series of murders that had occurred on previous Friday the 13th. The maniac, known as the Midnight Marauder, had an obsession with the number 13. He believed it held immense power, a conduit to the dark forces that whispered in his mind. Armed with an array of twisted weapons, he roamed the town's shadowy streets, leaving cryptic messages and symbols in his wake. As the day progressed, Willowbrook's residents discovered strange symbols etched onto their doors and windows. Unnerved, they gathered in the town square, where Emma shared her findings about the previous Friday the 13th murders. Fear gripped the crowd, and they realized that the Midnight Marauder was recreating the pattern of the past killings. Emma, guided by her premonitions, deciphered the symbols' meaning. They pointed to an ancient ritual, a ceremony that could supposedly grant unimaginable power to the one who completed it on Friday the 13th. The town's fate hung in the balance as Emma and a group of brave townsfolk set out to uncover the ritual's origins and find a way to stop the Midnight Marauder. Their investigation led them to an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of Willowbrook. Inside, they found a hidden chamber adorned with occult symbols. Emma sensed a malevolent presence, and they realized they were standing on the very spot where the dark ritual was to take place. With time running out, they delved deeper into the mansion's secrets, hoping to find a way to thwart the Midnight Marauder's plans. In the hidden chamber, they discovered an ancient grimoire that contained the details of the dark ritual. To their horror, they realized that the ritual involved binding the souls of the town's residents to the maniac's will, granting him unimaginable power. The group resolved to find a way to disrupt the ritual and free the trapped souls before it was too late. The Midnight Marauder, aware of their presence, taunted them through cryptic messages. He challenged them to a deadly game of wits, leaving riddles and puzzles that they had to solve to proceed further into the mansion. With each solved riddle, they grew closer to the heart of the ritual, but the maniac's traps and illusions tested their courage and resolve. After overcoming the Midnight Marauder's challenges, they reached the heart of the ritual chamber. There, they found the maniac, his eyes gleaming with madness. He recited an incantation, intending to complete the ritual and bind the town's souls to his dark will. A battle of magic and willpower ensued, the room crackling with energy as they fought to disrupt the ritual and save Willowbrook. In the midst of the battle, Emma made a heartbreaking decision. She realized that the only way to disrupt the ritual completely was to sacrifice her own soul, severing the link between the Midnight Marauder and the townsfolk. With tears in her eyes, she stepped into the ritual circle, chanting a counter-incantation that broke the maniac's control. The room shook with the force of their struggle, and Emma's sacrifice saved the town. With the ritual disrupted, the Midnight Marauder's power waned. He screamed in fury and frustration before vanishing into thin air, leaving behind only echoes of his malevolent laughter. Willowbrook's residents, free from his influence, slowly emerged from their hiding places, their faces reflecting a mix of relief and sorrow for Emma's sacrifice. The town mourned Emma as a hero, her sacrifice becoming a symbol of hope and bravery. A memorial was erected in her honor in the town square, a place where generations would gather to remember the young woman who had saved them all. Flowers and candles adorned the memorial, a testament to the town's enduring gratitude. In the wake of the tragedy, Willowbrook underwent a transformation. The town united, its residents supporting one another as they rebuilt their lives. Emma's spirit seemed to linger, a gentle presence that brought comfort to those who still felt the weight of the past. The town became a symbol of resilience, its people stronger for having faced the darkness together. In the years that followed, Willowbrook became a haven for paranormal enthusiasts. The town's haunted history attracted researchers, mediums, and ghost hunters from all over the world. They explored the abandoned mansion and the sites where the midnight marauder had struck, hoping to uncover the town's secrets and communicate with the spirits that still lingered. Strange occurrences became a part of everyday life in Willowbrook. Lights flickered without cause, objects moved on their own, and whispers echoed through empty rooms. Some believed it was the lingering energy of the midnight marauder, while others thought it was Emma's spirit, watching over the town she had saved. The line between the living and the supernatural blurred, creating an atmosphere of perpetual mystery. Willowbrook's reputation as a paranormal hotspot drew curious tourists, eager to experience the town's eerie ambience. Haunted tours became a popular attraction, led by guides who shared the town's dark history and the tale of Emma's sacrifice. The tourists wandered through the town, their excitement mingled with trepidation as they ventured into the mansion and other haunted sites. As more people explored Willowbrook, long-buried secrets began to resurface. Forgotten journals and diaries revealed the town's hidden past, shedding light on the midnight marauder's descent into madness and the rituals that had once taken place. Historians and archaeologists delved into the town's archives, unearthing artifacts that hinted at a dark and ancient presence. Paranormal investigators set up camp in Willowbrook, their equipment capturing unexplained phenomena. Ghostly apparitions appeared on camera, disembodied voices echoed through empty halls, and shadows moved with a purpose of their own. The investigators marveled at the town's supernatural activity, their findings adding to the mystique that surrounded Willowbrook. Mediums and psychics held seances in an attempt to communicate with the spirits that lingered in Willowbrook. They channeled messages from the other side, their voices becoming vessels for the town's restless souls. Some attempted rituals to appease the spirits, hoping to bring peace to the entities that wandered the town. Amidst the fascination with the paranormal, a group of amateur occultists attempted to harness the town's dark energies. Ignorant of the consequences, they conducted a ritual in the abandoned mansion, believing they could control the spirits. Instead, they unwittingly awakened a malevolent force, a dark entity that thrived on fear and chaos. The malevolent entity, known as the Shadow King, spread its influence throughout Willowbrook. It whispered sinister thoughts into the minds of the townsfolk, sowing discord and fear. People began to see shadowy figures out of the corner of their eyes, their dreams plagued by nightmarish visions. The once curious tourists now felt a deep sense of foreboding as they explored the town. Realizing the danger they were in, the residents of Willowbrook banded together. They sought out the help of experienced mediums and occult experts, hoping to find a way to banish the Shadow King. Seances were conducted, protective wards were placed around the town, and ancient rituals were performed in an attempt to counter the malevolent force. The battle against the Shadow King intensified during the waning moon, a time believed to weaken supernatural entities. The townsfolk, armed with knowledge and determination, confronted the entity in a final showdown. The air crackled with energy as they chanted incantations, their voices merging into a powerful barrier that pushed back the malevolent force. In the midst of the battle, a young girl named Lily, touched by a gift she didn't fully understand, offered her own light to strengthen the protective barrier. With tears in her eyes, she channeled her inner strength, becoming a beacon of pure, untainted light that pushed the Shadow King back. Her sacrifice weakened the entity, giving the townsfolk an opportunity to strike back. With the barrier holding the Shadow King at bay, the residents of Willowbrook worked tirelessly to close the rift that had allowed the malevolent entity to enter their world. Guided by ancient texts and the knowledge of the mediums, they performed a complex ritual. The ground shook as the rift slowly closed, the town's protective wards reinforcing the barrier, and banishing the Shadow King once and for all. Although the Shadow King was banished, a lingering darkness remained. Willowbrook's atmosphere crackled with residual energy, and the townsfolk knew they had to remain vigilant. The paranormal investigators continued their work, hoping to understand the town's supernatural dynamics better. The spirits of the town's past residents, once restless, seemed to find peace in the wake of the battle, their apparitions appearing less frequently. Willowbrook's residents continued their vigil, realizing that the battle against darkness was an ongoing struggle. The town became a hub of knowledge, attracting scholars and spiritual leaders who sought to study its unique paranormal phenomena. The residents embraced their town's mystique, respecting the spirits that lingered and finding solace in the knowledge that they had faced the unknown and emerged stronger. With the Shadow King banished, more secrets of Willowbrook's past came to light. Historians discovered ancient texts hidden in the town's archives, revealing the presence of a powerful artifact buried deep beneath the town square. The artifact, believed to be a source of immense supernatural energy, had been safeguarded by generations of guardians, its true purpose shrouded in mystery. The Guardians of Willowbrook, descendants of those who had protected the town from the Midnight Marauder and the Shadow King, embraced their legacy with newfound reverence. They dedicated themselves to understanding the ancient artifact, believing it held the key to the town's supernatural phenomena. Together, they formed a council, vowing to keep Willowbrook safe for future generations. One fateful night, as the full moon bathed Willowbrook in an ethereal glow, the ancient artifact began to resonate with power. Its energy pulsed beneath the town square, awakening a dormant force that sent ripples through the town. The Guardians sensed the disturbance and gathered around the artifact, their eyes wide with realization. A cryptic prophecy, hidden within the ancient texts, foretold of a time when the artifact's power would be needed to vanquish an unimaginable evil. The Guardians, guided by the prophecy, embarked on a quest to unlock the artifact's true potential. Their journey took them to forgotten places and arcane libraries, where they gathered knowledge and artifacts that would aid them in their battle against the looming threat. As the Guardians delved deeper into their research, ominous signs appeared in Willowbrook. Unexplained phenomena intensified, and the town's atmosphere grew heavy with an impending storm. Shadows danced on the walls, and whispers filled the night air. The Guardians knew that the ancient evil mentioned in the prophecy was drawing closer, its presence felt in every shiver that ran down their spines. Part 33. The Ritual of Empowerment. Armed with the knowledge they had gathered, the Guardians performed a ritual to empower the ancient artifact. The town square became a sanctuary of incense and candlelight as they chanted ancient incantations, channeling their collective energy into the artifact. The ground trembled beneath them, and the artifact glowed with a brilliant light, absorbing the Guardians' power and becoming a beacon of hope. In a moment of shared consciousness, the Guardians found themselves transported to the astral realm, a place where the boundaries between the living and the supernatural were blurred. There, they encountered enigmatic spirits and ancient entities, each possessing a fragment of the knowledge they sought. The Guardians engaged in battles of wits and strength, earning the spirits' respect and the secrets they guarded. Through trials and challenges, the Guardians acquired the knowledge necessary to face the looming evil. They learned of the entity's name, a whispered nightmare known as the Voidwalker, a being of pure darkness that consumed worlds and left behind desolation. Armed with this revelation, the Guardians returned to the physical realm, their minds focused on the battle ahead. With the knowledge acquired from the astral realm, the Guardians strengthened Willowbrook's defensive wards. They inscribed protective symbols on every corner of the town, creating an intricate web of magical barriers. The wards glowed with an otherworldly light, forming an impenetrable shield against the Voidwalker's malevolence. The Guardians underwent rigorous training, honing their magical abilities and combat skills. They sparred under the moonlit sky, their movements fluid and precise. They delved into ancient grimoires, mastering spells that had been forgotten by time. Their determination and unity became their greatest strengths as they prepared for the impending confrontation with the Voidwalker. Word of Willowbrook's plight reached the ears of supernatural beings from distant realms. Vampires, werewolves, witches, and fairies, once estranged from humanity, came to the town's aid. They recognized the threat the Voidwalker posed to all realms, and their unique abilities and knowledge became invaluable assets in the Guardians' fight against the darkness. In a secluded chamber beneath the town, the Guardians and their allies gathered to formulate their battle plan. They studied ancient maps and consulted mystical artifacts, searching for a weakness in the Voidwalker's impenetrable form. Together, they devised a strategy that combined magical prowess, strategic maneuvers, and the strength of unity. On the eve of the final battle, Willowbrook's residents gathered in the town square, their faces marked with determination. Candles flickered in the darkness, and the Guardians stood at the forefront, their gazes unwavering. The air crackled with anticipation as they prepared to face the Voidwalker, their minds steeled against the fear that threatened to engulf them. As the midnight hour approached, the ground trembled beneath Willowbrook. The air grew cold, and a shadowy rift tore open in the night sky. The Voidwalker emerged, its form shifting and undulating like a living void. Its eyes glowed with an unholy hunger as it surveyed the town, sensing the power that emanated from the Guardians and their allies. The battle against the Voidwalker erupted with a fury unmatched by any previous encounter. Spells clashed with darkness, swords clashed with shadowy tendrils, and the very ground shook as the Guardians and their allies fought to protect their home. The night was filled with the sounds of battle cries, incantations, and the hiss of the Voidwalker, its form writhing with every strike against it. In the midst of the chaos, some of Willowbrook's allies fell, their sacrifice a testament to their bravery. Vampires and werewolves, witches and fairies, fought side by side with the Guardians, their lives given in the pursuit of a brighter future. Their sacrifice fueled the Guardians' determination, strengthening their resolve to banish the Voidwalker once and for all. Amidst the battle, the Guardians unearthed an ancient relic, the Heart of Lumina. Infused with the purest form of light magic, the relic glowed with blinding brilliance. The Guardians channeled their collective energy into the relic, unleashing a radiant wave of magic that engulfed the Voidwalker. The entity shrieked in agony as the light burned away its darkness, leaving only the vanquished remnants of its malevolence. With the Voidwalker banished, the night sky began to lighten, heralding the dawn of a new day. Willowbrook's residents emerged from their hiding places, their faces awed by the sight of the rising sun. The town had survived the battle against the darkness, its spirit unbroken by the trials it had faced. In the aftermath of the battle, Willowbrook's residents came together once more, this time to rebuild. The fallen were mourned, their sacrifices honored with memorials that stood as a reminder of the town's resilience. Homes and businesses were reconstructed, and the scars left by the battle began to fade beneath the healing touch of time. The unity forged in the fires of battle remained long after the threat had passed. Willowbrook's residents, once strangers, now stood as a united community. The supernatural beings who had come to the town's aid chose to make Willowbrook their home, recognizing the strength that came from embracing diversity and understanding. To celebrate their victory and the newfound unity of their town, Willowbrook's residents established the Festival of Light. Every year, on the anniversary of the battle against the Voidwalker, the town was adorned with thousands of colorful lanterns. The festival became a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light would always prevail. The Guardians, now revered as mentors and protectors, established a school to pass down their knowledge to future generations. Young witches, werewolves, vampires, and fairies gathered to learn from the Guardians. Their teachings focused on unity, empathy, and the importance of defending the balance between the supernatural and human worlds. With the passage of time, Willowbrook became a haven of peace and understanding. Supernatural beings coexisted with humans, their differences celebrated rather than feared. The town's unique history and the battles it had faced became a source of inspiration, a testament to the strength that could be found in unity and acceptance. In the hearts of Willowbrook's residents, gratitude for the guardians and allies who had saved their town was endless. The sacrifices made and the battles fought were never forgotten, becoming a cherished part of the town's lore. The spirits of those who had fallen in the fight against the Voidwalker were honored with an eternal vigil, their presence a reminder of the bravery that had shaped Willowbrook's destiny.